Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is the Elliott Wave HBAR update, as well as I'll show you where my trade is at currently and what my plan is from here on out. Now, if you haven't seen this before, these are my bullish and bearish counts. This is my primary count where we have an A, B, C with a triangle in between, currently working on the C wave to the upside and targeting the one-to-one extension of the A wave off the E wave. Also keeping in mind that we might get an extension here up to around the 618 or past it a little bit here, up around 25 cents, because that was our major point of breakdown. We don't have a lot of resistance in this area except for this high here and this low here. So expecting to let it run a little bit once we get there. So that's my bullish count currently on the daily. My bearish count is a ending diagonal, which is very close to getting invalidated, which is as soon as we break this high here. According to Binance, I'll tick that there. At 9.87 cents, you can see how close we are. If we don't collapse from here and get stopped out. I no longer have a bearish triangle. If you remember that, I only have a bullish triangle at the moment, which would turn into a barrier triangle if we got stopped out at our major support areas here. Now going into the trade setup, I took yesterday. You can see I entered on December 20th. If you're new to the channel, I started a 10K trading account for channel purposes. I've only entered 3 trades so far, so we're pretty early on in the adventure, and risking 1% per trade setup. As for that current trade setup, my entry was on the breakout yesterday of the 3rd of the 3rd on the micro time frame, and my stop was at that last pivot. Currently up $216 on the trade. Stop is at 7.829. So doing pretty good so far on that one. Now going down to the smaller time frames. This is my bullish primary count. Currently working on a 3rd of the 3rd in our C wave, or potentially a 3rd 1-2 setup, which we could get a little bit of retracement over the next couple days if that happens. I actually hope it does. I hope we get a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, because that would be extremely bullish, and that would be the case where I suggested we go up to potentially 25 cents on this next wave. But we'll see what we get in this area. This is my current stop on Binance. Took the entry here yesterday, the 3rd of the 3rd of this wave, and off we went. Stop has not moved. So just to keep this viewpoint in mind where we're at on the 1-hour chart, this could be a 1-2, 1-2, or we keep going here up to around 11-12 cents for our 3rd of the 3rd. Or if we don't come straight here and we get a little bit of a breakdown here, considering this being a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, in which case I might take another entry because we could get a real explosion here if we get that. I'll go down to the 15-minute, see where we're at here, and I'm going to switch over to MEXC, which is the exchange I'm currently trading on. If you want to have the exact stops as me and entries, you can check the description below. I put a referral link on MEXC if you want to support the channel and get the exact same stops, targets, and entries I get. Up to you. This was my entry yesterday. Bought the breakout right here. So I saw this as a 1-2, 1-2. Took the breakout. Stop was at this pivot. It hasn't changed at all. I'm going to show you the micro count I currently have on this. Let me make this a little bit less busy for you. I want that one on. Okay. So just going down on this micro 15 minute. I will even go down to the 5 minute. So I had this as a 1-2 with a very shy retracement. I put on our expanded B Fibonacci levels here for our wave 2 and invalidations at the 1.618 extension. And all that is you take a fib pull here off the high, off the low, put on the 1.618. Our most common area is the 1.236 or the 382 for a B wave here. Our invalidation being past the 1.618. So my current view on this micro count is that we have an A, B, C here or a W, X, Y. Doesn't really matter. There's so much chop at these micro levels. But for simplicity's sakes, we'll call it an ABC. With our wave 2 being this support level right here. Off that we had a 1-2. I actually think this is all the third of the third. This was our fourth of the third. I pulled a Fibonacci from there and we were right between the 382 and the 50, which is where we'd expect a fourth wave to come to. And then we got our fifth wave up, which I think is actually our third wave of this sequence here, this impulse sequence. If this does fail here, then I'd have to relabel this, and this third would be over here. Get our fourth here, and our fifth is done. But looking at these microwaves here, as you can see, we got a 1, 2, 3, 4 into that area we'd expect, and then our fifth up. Although we're coming out of the channel a little bit, that's okay. So what I would expect from here on out is to hold the 382 and the 50 of this next area. Excuse me. Let me just change where that is. Pull from that pivot. And we'll extend that out. So I would like this fourth wave. It looks like it's making a flat to extend out to this area. It can come pretty low, as you can see, come to the previous area here, between 8.541 and 8.699. We can come pretty low, or we can come up shy, just make a 236 retracement, which is our minimum requirement here to be considered a fourth wave. And then we get our extension up for our fifth, which would be between the 2382 and the 2.618. But as you can see, I pulled the pivots here off our 1-2, and we hit that third of the third right at the 1.618 as well, which leads me to believe this is the correct count on the micro level. Okay, so where does that leave me with my trade? Currently, I'm not changing a thing. I'm not changing my stop. I'm not adding to this trade at the moment because this could be a fifth in, and we could just come back here before making that third of the third of the third, that third 1-2 setup. So I'm going to leave it as is. Let me get rid of something here. I wanted to show you something else. So it's been holding on this pitchfork pretty well, which is a modified pitchfork. As you can see, I wouldn't want to see it drift out too much, but I also took the standard channel method, which is taking our first from the top of our third drop it off our wave 2. It looks like it's screwed up a little bit there because we're so micro level here. So ideally we would stay within this channel, but it looks like we would probably drift out a little bit. So I'm going to use the pitchfork again. If we come down below that boundary line, I would consider that I might have to relabel this. Just took the pivot from the low, this high, that low, if you want to follow along yourself. Okay, so looking for that. Now, if this is complete, I pulled a fib. Let me get rid of this for now. So I pulled a fib from our low to our high where we currently are. There's our 50 and the 618, which we should hold as support, as well as this level as support. Again, I'm not going to raise my stop yet. I want to leave a little more room because the stop's currently just past the 618. So if this trend continues bullish, I'd expect to hold these levels. Just past the 618, it's pretty much in a perfect spot for the larger wave to play out. But if you're the type to play every trade, like I do it myself on my other account, which isn't public, I scalp trade as well. If I took this as a scalp originally, I'd be putting my stop literally at this area so that I lock up this profit. My entry was like here, so that I lock up this profit 3% no matter what, and then I look for a re-entry. But for purposes of the channel, I'm leaving everything as is, not changing anything. Stop is the same, and as you can see, up about 2-to-1 so far. If we get a really nice correction that looks pretty much ideal, I might try to add to my position if I am able to raise my stop, but I will let you know in another video update. All right, guys, so that's it for HBAR. Things are looking good so far. This is what we're looking for over the next day or two, as either complete here, looking for an ABC, possibly get another entry, or looking for this to complete up, then get our A, B, C, correcting in our fourth area before we go again. All right, guys, that's it for HBAR. Thanks for watching. Again, if you want to check out my other trades, these are the current trades I'm in. All the videos and setups are on my channel. All right, guys, thanks for watching.